Hey guys, y'all come with us on our journey. Today we are working with figs. So we'll show you about our tree that we get them from. One of the 4 that we have, actually we have access to 5, but the one we're going to show you is the one on Mark's mom's property. And then we're going to show you how we preserve them. So y'all stay tuned. Hey guys, so we're out here today. We are picking figs. The figs are starting to ripen. So we are out here picking figs. I've already picked this much. Let's go over here and see what Mark's doing. Let's see. He might have missed a few.
Oh yeah, we're gonna miss it. Ain't no way around it.
There he is.
Lord's got to, you have to let the birds have a few though.
He just said we gotta let the birds have a few.
I took that big vine out here.
Yeah. Alright, what we doing, Mark?
Huh? Picking figs, but I knew there wasn't gonna be much on this side.
Yeah, because of the tree.
Huh?
The tree.
Oh, the cedar tree? Yeah.
Yeah. It shades it out right here.
Yeah, that's a big cedar tree. I hate to cut it. I think it's always helped protect it some.
So we got figs. We got what, brown turkey probably?
I don't really know what this thing is. I know it's this house was built in the 20s. My parents moved into it in the 50s, and they said this fig tree was already here and it was this big then.
Wow.
So
let me show y'all how big this tree is. Mark, stand still.
You probably could show it better from the other side, how big it is.
That's the top of the tree, guys, up there. Yeah, that's how big this tree is. It's all the way by that trunk there and all the way over there. Yep.
Our tree out there ain't, what, 4 years old? And it's loaded again this year?
Yeah.
I think it's 4 years old. That's how big it is in 4 years, or maybe 5. I
so,
can't remember.
Figs are formed when a wasp stings the plant, the bloom.
I don't want to go down that road with me.
That's something about how they're formed, at any rate. So we are picking the figs.
We're
like
getting the ones on
this
the
one is very ripe. This one will not last very long. And we're just pulling it off.
Yeah, we're getting the ones
delicious, delicious, delicious. We're going ahead and picking some this color too because we want to go ahead and put some up. But we're picking what we can reach because we didn't bring a ladder. And the bottom is where most of the ripe ones are. There's some ripe up top.
Birds,
but
I hit a lot of them. Squirrels.
All right, we're going to get busy and go back to picking. Y'all, we got 3 pawpaw trees over here and 2 pears.
Hey, by the way, these ain't convict pants.
They're not convict pants. Is that your, well, you might as well be in prison there, working a job. All right, guess what? We have figs. So we have 2 5-gallon buckets, halfway full. We're currently washing them, and we're going to go through and we're going to separate out the ones that are like this. These I'm going to put in smoothies or eat once I get finished. But this is the ones that we are going to can today. Okay? This is still firm. There's no blemishes or anything like that. So right now we're just washing them with hot water. Cold water. And we will not be removing these stems, but we are going to wash as much stuff off of them as we can, but you want firm figs. You don't want mushy, you don't want overripe. The overripe ones won't do as well. So like I said, I'm gonna freeze this once I wash it and throw it in some smoothies, or I may just eat it like it is, I don't know. But we're gonna wash them and go from there. So let me show you what process we're going to use today. All right guys, here we are again. We have our trusty book from the extension office, and we have another book that we got from Deep South. Now we are going to use her method, which is almost similar to this method. And don't forget guys, we kind of have a tendency to be rebel canners, so when you do things the way we do them, you're doing them at your own risk, blah 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 blah. This is the extension method right here. Okay, so you can see it says to use the firm, ripe, uncracked figs. Don't take the stems off, don't peel them or anything like that. It says to wash them and all that stuff. Now, this has an extra step that we don't do. We're going to hot pack. So we're going to cover the figs. According to this, we're going to put the figs in a pot of hot water and boil them for 2 minutes and then drain, basically blanching them. I don't like the extra steps, so we're not going to do that. We're going to wash them and then we're going to put them into the syrup that we are going to make. What type of syrup are we going to do? We're going to use a 1 cup of sugar to 4 cup of sugar syrup, basically a light syrup. And then we're going to add our acid to the jars, whether it's lemon juice or citric acid. I'm going to put a little apple cider vinegar in mine because it's what I have. We're going to fill the jars up, covering the figs with syrup, leaving a 1/2 inch of headspace. Don't forget, you're going to remove your air bubbles in there. You're going to wipe the rims down and you're going to put the lids on hand tight. All right, so this is the same recipe minus the blanch step, okay? So this came from Deep South. We bought their cookbook that they have out. And this is the recipe we use, and this is the recipe we're going to follow. Alright, so we've given them a basic wash. We're now going to go through and sort them out. And we will wash these again because there's still some stuff on them. But I want to get the best figs out. So this is going in my freeze bucket. And these are going over here to put in the canner because those are still firm. This one is not firm. So we're going to put it in the freezer. This one is also not firm. It just got smashed in the bucket when the others got in there with it, but so we're just going to go through and sort them out. So y'all stay tuned, and then we'll wash them again, and then we will make our syrup. Alright, this set we're going to can, and this set over here we're going to freeze. So I'm going to go and wash them and get them to drain out, and then I'm going to just put them in a Ziploc bag. That is all that I am going to do. And then we will put them in smoothies and things like that. And who knows, I may come back and make some jam or something out of these. We'll see. Alright, stay tuned. Alright, this is the batch that we're going to can. Alright, so we have washed these, and we're going to go ahead and do a test batch of something where I don't boil them in the syrup to start with. I'm going to see if I can raw pack, pour the syrup over them, and can them that way. And we'll do another batch the correct way, and we'll compare the two on down the line, you know, to see how they did. Because in the test, I want to see how it holds up as well. Alright guys, stay tuned. Alright, we're just adding a splash of the vinegar to our bottles, our jars, excuse me. Because I'm still out of lemon juice. Yeah, I know. And now we're going to take this over to the stove, and we're going to fill these with syrup. Alright, so we have our syrup here. We have put a cup of sugar to 4 cups of water, and we have brought it to boiling. So now I'm going to ladle it into these jars until the contents are covered. Making sure that I have a 1/2 inch of headspace per jar. And I can go ahead and tell you, I have not made enough syrup. Wipe your rims and lids down. Wipe your rims down with a wet paper towel or cloth. Wet it with either water or vinegar, depending on what you put in those jars. Now I put syrup in these, so this probably should have a little vinegar on it, and probably white vinegar, but I'm just using cold water today. Okay, and then we put our lids and rings on. We hand tighten. We don't cinch them down. Now my water bath canner holds 5 pints. So that's what I have. I have 5 pints. Now these are not the way the recipe says. These have been done by pouring the syrup over, not by boiling the figs in the syrup. So let's get them in the canner. Recipe said to boil them for 55 minutes, I think it was. We will double check that part. And guys, I'm fixing to fill this canner up with water over the jars. Alright, I got water over the jars. I'm actually going to put a little bit more water in there, just to be on the safe side. I've got the eye on, and we are heating the water to boiling. Takes a while for it to get to that point, so we'll be back. Alright, so I was doing some research online to find out different ways people do this, to find out if the raw pack with hot liquid poured over a method would work. I found basically people are canning these without the syrup. They're just canning them in water with a little bit of lemon. So that's what we're doing, because these figs are sweet enough without added sugar. So we are going to can this batch in straight water. And we'll add, a little lemon juice to the jars, or in my case, apple cider vinegar today because I'm out of lemon juice. So we just filled a pot with figs and poured hot water over it, and we are going to boil them for 2 to 3 minutes to see how it turns out. It actually says 3 to 4, so we'll just warm them up. Basically, it softens them, and then you put them into the jars. Alright guys, so this is what they look like after the boiling. Okay, so we will process these a little bit differently than the others. The first batch is in here canning. Now this is the raw pack with hot syrup poured over them. And they are canning in the water bath for 45 minutes for pints, 55 for quarts. Alright guys, so all of the figs have been canned. They've all turned out well. The raw pack method that we tried, the figs kind of float to the top instead of sinking to the bottom like they're supposed to, and you can't get as many figs in the jar. So I just wanted to give you an update on that. I think that you really should consider putting them in the water or syrup mix to soften them, and then they don't bubble up to the top as much either. It seems to really work. For us, I really liked the water only method because I don't like things to be super sweet. The figs in the water are sweet. A lot of people don't like to add apple cider vinegar to things because it changes the flavor. For me, it didn't change the flavor enough for me to not like it. There is a subtle taste of the apple cider vinegar to it. So if you do not want a taste change, make sure that you use lemon juice or citric acid. Maybe a little bit of vinegar, but that still might change the flavor a hair. But the apple cider vinegar kind of blended well with it to me. Now you might not like that. So I would suggest maybe trying one jar with vinegar, apple cider vinegar in it instead of lemon juice, and see if you like it. Me, I liked it. I also like the no sugar method best. So if y'all like what we're doing, make sure you give us a like. Make sure you leave us a comment. Let us know what you think. Let us know what you want to see more of. If I didn't explain something well enough, leave me a comment and I'll answer back and tell you what we did or didn't do. I don't mind that at all. We don't mind sharing our sources for different things either. So make sure you leave us a comment if you want to know where we got something or what we're using. All right, guys, make sure you share our videos. That helps us the most. We are working on some Cedar Creek Bottom logoed items. Watch for that in the future. I've got some playing to do. We're going to have cups and definitely aprons because my sister told me that I looked funny cooking without an apron. And so the idea was born to print a logo apron. All right, guys, leave us a comment. Make sure you like the videos, share the videos, and subscribe. Subscribe to our channel. That way you get access to all of the videos. Make sure you hit that bell. That way you get notifications when new ones are released. Mark's Fireside Chats is on Fridays, and usually the homestead videos are going to be on Tuesdays. It might be Wednesdays, guys. It just depends on internet and technical difficulties and life, of course. All right, guys, we will see you all next time. Till then, bye.